Bonsoir. Mesdames et messieurs les ministres de l'Éducation, chers enseignants, monsieur le secrétaire général de l'International de l'Éducation, cher David Edwards, monsieur le parrain de la Fondation Varkey, représentant de Sonny Varkey, cher Dino Varkey, Excellences, mesdames et messieurs, je voudrais commencer ce soir avec les mots d'un enseignant. Il s'agit de Maurice Ogwang, il est prof de maths à Kampala, en Ouganda. Et nous avons entendu ces mots à l'antenne de RFI. Dans l'enseignement primaire, nous dit-il, un instituteur gagne en moyenne de 120 à 150 $ chaque mois. C'est peu. Je pense néanmoins que cela vaut la peine d'être enseignant, car lorsque vous voyez la différence que vous faites dans la vie d'un enfant, ça n'a pas de prix. Et c'est ce qui nous réunit ce soir, c'est ce qui nous réunit à l'UNESCO, dans cette conférence générale qui réunit les 194 États membres, dans une organisation qui s'est fondée et construite sur l'éducation. Et il n'y a pas d'éducation sans les enseignants. C'est un des messages centraux du premier rapport mondial sur la condition enseignante que l'UNESCO lance aujourd'hui avec l'équipe spéciale internationale sur les enseignants. C'est un partenariat mené par l'UNESCO qui réunit plus de 160 membres, des gouvernements, des organisations internationales, des ONG, des associations, des membres de la société civile. Un partenariat qui s'est donné depuis 2008 la mission de valoriser le métier d'enseignant dans le monde. Mais pourtant, ce rapport que nous présentons dresse un constat qui doit nous mobiliser tous. Nous n'en faisons aujourd'hui pas assez pour rendre la profession assez attractive, au moment même où, selon notre rapport, il faudra recruter 44 millions d'enseignants d'ici 2030 pour garantir le droit universel à l'éducation primaire et secondaire. C'est une pénurie mondiale. Même si les besoins sont particulièrement aigus en Asie et en Afrique subsaharienne, ils existent aussi dans les pays les plus riches de notre planète. Et cette difficulté est accentuée par un autre phénomène qui est aussi mis en évidence dans notre rapport, le taux d'attrition des enseignants, c'est-à-dire la proportion accrue des enseignants qui quittent le métier. Ce taux d'attrition dans le primaire a doublé entre 2015 et 2022. Et ce qui est très inquiétant, c'est qu'on voit aussi un nombre important de jeunes enseignants qui quittent leur poste dès les premières années de leur fonction. Face à cette crise de vocation, il est donc absolument nécessaire de revaloriser la condition enseignante. Nous n'avons pas d'autre alternative. Excellencies, teachers are the backbone of quality and inclusive education. This is why UNESCO has always been committed to supporting them and is taking concrete steps to support them in the field on all continents. I would mention a few examples. In Cambodia, for instance, UNESCO is implementing one of the country's largest and most comprehensive teachers' education reforms, thanks to an investment of $14 million from the Global Partnership for Education. And we have nearly 94,000 teachers in Cambodia that will be able to access professional development opportunities, including training and mentoring. Of course, in Africa, which is a transversal priority here at UNESCO, we're also working there for teachers. We're working with the European Commission to strengthen teacher training and professional development through an initiative totaling $12 million that supports teachers in Burkina Faso, in Chad, in Mali, Mauritania, and Niger. And yes, supporting teachers all over the world requires funding. But we all know, and we repeat it again and again, that it's the best investment for the future. For if teachers are supported, they can have a tremendous impact, not only directly on their students, but also on the communities around them. And this is why we very much like to celebrate the teachers, and we're very happy to do so at the opening of our General Conference. And this is why we're gathered here today, as UNESCO is very proud once again to host the Global Teacher Prize organized by the Varkey Foundation, which I thank. This award singles out one exceptional teacher who received the remarkable prize of $1 million in recognition of his or her outstanding service. Teachers like the United States' Keisha Thorpe, who received the award last year. She has done so much to give vulnerable children the means to emancipate themselves through education. And I was very proud and delighted to be with her, with another teacher, Dr. Jill Biden, at the White House last month to celebrate the return of the United States of America to UNESCO. We were united through, with, by education. But this prize also has another goal, to draw attention to the beauty of teaching profession and the need to give it greater recognition. It's true that we all remember a teacher who had a specific impact on our life, to whom we are grateful. It may sound like a truism, but it's true. Teachers are life changers. They do so much for us every single day. And tonight we return to them the favor. So I would like again to thank the Varkey Foundation, to congratulate all the finalists that are with us tonight, and to thank them for their invaluable contribution to education, and by contributing to education, to peace, which is our main here goal and objective, even when it seems very far away and very difficult. We still have you to give us hope. Thank you very much. Merci.
All of us go through insecurity and doubt, trepidation along this journey of life. And those teachers that see the best in us and are patient enough to allow us to grow into that, they are like gold.
I discovered the secret that teachers never tell you, and that is, it is astoundingly hard work.
In today's world, this is so important that we give every child a good teacher that they can depend on, that can create their future the right way.
Just a small open door can help them transform their life and their communities and the world.
The real superheroes are teachers. They're the ones that change the world.
My admiration for teachers will never die.
You know, I always say that teaching is the mother of all professions. And if you don't have good teachers, you're not going to have a good society.
Making the profession more attractive is essential today. Only by backing teachers today, we can protect our tomorrow. This means holding them in higher esteem, paying them better, and training them better.
The world is facing a severe global teacher shortage. New data from UNESCO and the Teachers Task Force shows that we need an additional 44 million teachers to achieve universally primary and secondary education by 2030.
Shortage of teachers is a global challenge, but the bigger problem is that teachers today do not have access to the training resources they need to prepare children and youth for our current and future challenges.
Sub-Saharan Africa needs to recruit at least 15 million teachers to achieve education goals by 2030.
Sub-Saharan Africa has the biggest number of young people all across the world. I grew up in a refugee camp in Kenya called Kakuma. I remember going to school, sitting in a very tiny classroom with one teacher that was serving over 3,000 kids in the refugee camp.
The high rate of attrition witnessed among teachers is something that also needs to be addressed.
A good teacher holds the power to influence, inspire, and shape a young person's life for the better. Reaching young people early on and providing them with the extra support they need can give them the best possible chance in life.
The international community and governments must make the profession more attractive.
In order to deliver universal education for 2030, it's important that all the governments throughout the world invest in teachers now.
What we need is to focus on nurturing those teachers that can go beyond traditional role of teaching and develop their skills to make them human experience teachers and prepare them to thrive in the real world with its very real problems.
We can all contribute to addressing these issues by raising awareness of the importance of teachers.
We must do more to valorize the profession by celebrating and reward our teachers. Teacher prizes are one way to do that.
The Global Teacher Prize has given me the opportunity to meet inspiring teachers from all over the world. One of the things that I've learned in this journey is that teachers perform miracles every single day.
Teachers! Teachers!
My hope for the future is an education system that prioritizes teachers at its very core, where their role is given the significance and respect it deserves.
Good evening, everybody. It's a great pleasure, a great honor to discuss and dialogue a little bit with the other side of the story. We heard very much from our Director General about, and also the discussion at UNESCO at the beginning of this General Conference is focusing on teachers and many problems that we see. The Director General just mentioned the highlights of the global report on teachers that UNESCO just released, and I kindly invite all of you, Excellencies, distinguished guests, to deep dive in this report. It's about the shortage. 44 million of teachers still represented the worldwide gap, with a special focus on sub-Saharan African countries. 15 million still there. It's a question of working conditions. Unfortunately, in many countries, teachers are not well paid. We see that half of the countries surveyed in this report pay their primary teachers very much less than any other comparable professions with equal grade of qualification, education, and the skills. It's a question of attractiveness of the profession. We know that, being a teacher 20, 30 years ago, my generation, I would say, was still a profession which could attract the best talents worldwide and being recognized as the core of the society. Today, we cannot say it's the same situation. It's also difficult to keep those teachers who are in the system to stay. So these are the problems. But we are here. We have a privilege to have 3 ministers and vice ministers who can provide this audience with their solutions, with the real concrete reforms and or measures that in their countries they implemented. And we see already some results. So we cannot start before moving to the prize and the celebration of the teaching profession without messages of hope and solutions. So I would like to start with Madam Minister of Basic Education of South Africa.
One of the few things we did, because almost 15 years back as a country, we were running short of teachers, we had to recruit in neighboring countries and even abroad. But now we're at a stage where we can't absorb even the teachers that we have trained, but there are threats which are ahead of us. First, we had to expand our bursary scheme and have a dedicated bursary program for young teachers, work with higher education to create adequate spaces, but also change the whole grading and payment system in government. So in terms of grading, we had to make sure that in our country, all our teachers are trained at university level. So when they qualify, they all are M+4, which is matric plus 4 years. So they qualify the same, so they're graded the same, whether it's primary school or high school. So they're paid the same, there's no differentiation in terms of salary. But we also were lucky to have what we call the occupational dispensation, special dispensation, whereby teachers had to be categorized differently with your doctors, your engineers as scarce skills, meaning that we're able to work a program where we can look at grading and salaries to an extent that we're able to pay our teachers competitive salaries with the private sector. We're able to encourage them to stay more in the system so that we have less attrition where teachers leave immediately, because with your qualification, your grading, you could even earn more than your principal so that teachers are not forced to run out of the system. But what we think helped us mainly was around the bursaries and what we call the occupational dispensation. We currently, as I say, we have more teachers than we need, but there's a threat that we are going to experience a shortage in 2034 if we don't do anything. And hence, we're encouraging, working with our teacher unions, to encourage older teachers above 50 to take their retirement so that we're able to bring in younger teachers who are going to stay longer. So we're monitoring the system quite rigorous to make sure that we don't go back to the difficulties that we had 15 years back of really finding ourselves with teacher shortages. But we have now excess teachers and we're able to retain them and we're able to career path them in the system. And as I say, even our attrition rate has gone quite low. So I thought those are some of the things that we did differently after experiencing the challenges about teacher shortages in our country.
Thank you
very much.
I think it's already a very good news that in some countries we can change the trend and the solutions can be implemented successfully. Well, beyond the increase in wages, which is an important, crucial dimension of the change needed for the teaching profession, this global report on teachers tells us that overcoming teacher shortages require valorization of the profession. This is something that also DG Azoulay mentioned clearly. We must recognize teaching not only as a very prestigious, important, crucial social role, but as a vocation, something that people wish to do because they understand that it's about empowering young people. It's about looking at the light in their eyes and helping them to unlock the potential they have. Well, this brings me to another country, which, let's say, is already a model worldwide for having founded the real tool to valorize the teaching profession, to change the education systems and make the education system one of the best of the world. It's Finland. We have the privilege to have here with us the Vice Minister, State Secretary to the Minister of Education of Finland, Ms. Mikaela Nylander. And I would like, very simply, Madam Vice Minister, to ask you, which is the secret of the Finnish recipe to change? Thank you.
Thank you. And Your Excellencies, first, I wish to thank UNESCO, the Varkey Foundation, and Dubai Cares for organizing this event. It's my honor to be here, as Finland is also a member of the International Task Force on Teachers, led by UNESCO. International networks are important for raising the status of the teaching profession and sharing best practices. And also, dear colleagues, in combating teachers' shortages, we must emphasize the well-being of the teachers, as it is the best way to ensure the attractiveness of the whole profession. In Finland, a part of the solution is that teachers are highly valued and respected as pedagogical experts. We put a lot of trust I really want to say trust in them, and they have a lot of professional autonomy. Teachers are motivated and have strong sense of purpose in their profession. According to our experience, it is important to recognize teachers as professionals who have a lot to say in the development in their own work and of the entire learning community within schools they work. Teachers should also be engaged in educational development more broadly. In Finland, teachers, also through their trade unions, are the single most important partner in any educational reform, policy, or legislation. To add, we have recognized the innovation capacity of teachers as a resilience factor. This requires flexibility and freedom in the teaching profession, which enables teachers to adjust their practices for making the best pedagogical choices to ensure learning. In Finland, we want to encourage teachers to explore new learning environments and pedagogical approaches. We also want teachers to collaborate and co-create, not only with other teachers across disciplines, but also with different actors of society. All this contributes to motivation and well-being of teachers. Dear colleagues, in order to thrive in their profession, teachers also need to feel that they are well equipped for their work. In Finland, we believe that teacher education needs to be research-based. Our teachers are educated with master-level degrees. As the skill demands in life and work continuously change, it is also important to ensure teachers' continuous professional development. In Finland, we see the teachers as lifelong learners. Finally, well-being needs to start with resources. It is difficult to speak of well-being of teachers when the class sizes are simply too big to manage, learning materials lacking, and the infrastructure is poor. Increasing investments on teachers is necessary, not only with the appropriate salaries, but also improving teachers' working conditions. Part of this is the need to increase the number of supportive staff in schools, such as special need teachers, psychologists, and other professionals, for ensuring that teachers can fully focus on the work they do the best, on teaching. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for mentioning a key word, trust, which is not written by law, but is something that can really make the difference. Let's move to Indonesia. Madam Deputy Minister of Education, Culture and Research, Ms. Suharti. Welcome to the panel.
Thank you. And thank you to UNESCO for inviting us to share our experience in planning recruiting 1 million teachers. So the story that in 1980s, we started 6 years compulsory educations, and the 10 years after that, we start the 9 years compulsory educations, and now we're implementing the 12 years compulsory education. So with the number of populations that's huge, 280 millions, now we have about 60 million students. And there's years that the Indonesian government did not recruit teachers. So 3 years ago, we calculated that we need about 1 million teachers to be recruited. And with the about 70 to 80,000 teachers retired every year, the calculations become 1.2 million teachers should be recruited. It started in 2021. We opened the formations about 1 million, but since early child education, basic education, and senior secondary education is the responsibility of local governments. They are the ones who propose how many teachers should be recruited. So not all agreed to recruit many teachers, but we do our best to make sure that the budget is there, funded by the central government, allocated through local government. And we have two channels. The first channel is recruiting the early career teachers directly from the training institutions, but only those who pass the exams could be recruited as teachers. And the second one, using the mid-career teachers, there's to be the government employed teachers, they should also pass the exams that we done. We used to have the situational judgment test and also technical knowledge test, because we would like to make sure that all teachers who are recruited in a good quality teachers. And have we recruited 1 million teachers? Not yet. In 2 years, we recruited 550,000, still very large numbers. And this year, we plan to recruit 600,000 teachers, but only 300 teachers vacancies opened by the local government. So we still have about 300 more teachers next year. If 1.2 million teachers are recruited, do we still have a challenge? Yes, still many. Because using the current system of recruitment, we do only open the recruitment once or twice a year. While teachers can retire at any time. Some pass away, some move to other schools or other districts or provinces. So this time being, we are designing a new system. We would like to have so-called teachers talent pools platforms that candidates could apply to be teachers for sure, using the certain criteria, test also. But once they are in the platforms, in the database, they can be recruited at any time when schools need them. And other than that, another issue is that schools in the remote areas, in the small islands, not many interested to join. So, for example, in 2021, among 500 vacancies open, about 110,000 or about 20%, there's no applicants at all. How could we then provide teachers in those areas where they need the most? Now we starting designing scholarships together with the local governments to provide budgets for their educations, so that when they finish the educations, they could return to their communities to teach. And by having those kind of new system that we are now designing with about last 6 months, we are testing the system. Hopefully, it can be implemented in large in scales starting next year. We are still want to make sure that all ministries, relevant ministries are agreed with that.
It's
and
very
thankfully,
important.
Yeah,
Usually.
thankfully, Ministry of Finance, who have the money, agreed with the scenario. Ministry of State apparatus also agree with our idea. Even they say that it can be implemented also for health sector, sure, because the health workers also are limited, and they also intimate to be to provide more and more system. And there are three aspects, I think, that we can share how we could do that. The first one is the willingness and commitment. Political will is necessary. And the second, the systems of the recruitment. We do the computer-based tests. We provide all the infrastructures and also the items also. And the last one, that's what I mentioned, the local government's commitment to be together with the central government to make sure that teachers available
Thank you.
As needed. Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations. 1 million teachers is a record number. I was proud as former Minister of Italy to have recruited 100,000. I thought it was the record worldwide, but you can find always something and somebody who's doing very much better. Well, just to wrap up, we are really running over time. I would say the message we can keep from this panel is that it's possible thanks to ambition, innovation, investment to make a change, to make the difference, to valorize the teaching profession as it should be done. Thanks to Varkey Foundation, Dubai Cares, from bringing all us at UNESCO to celebrate the teaching profession, and thanks to those ministers championing about these policies worldwide. Thank you so much.